Mount Everest, the world's tallest peak. It's the pinnacle of climbing, the ultimate challenge. Attracting hundreds of mountaineers from dozens of countries every year.
The magnitude of this mountain is not lost on anyone. You're surrounded by all this pure magnificence.
But Everest's call comes with a price.
Getting up to the top is like clutching the Holy Grail, but it is life or death up here.
Now, when the mountain strikes, climbers have a lifeline. The Alpine Rescue Service, Everest's very first high-altitude rescue team.
Medicines, it's mountains, it's chaos.
Patrolling the slopes of Everest, the Alpine Rescue Service will push the limits of man.
Hopefully, Gavin will make it through the night.
And machine.
We just need helicopter up, all right?
Higher and farther than any rescue crew has ever gone before.
This is a dangerous place.
Risking their lives to save climbers on the greatest adventure ever. This is Everest Air. It's spring in Nepal, the start of the Everest climbing season. This year, almost 300 international climbers have their sights set on the summit.
Everest, Sagamartha. I've been climbing mountains for 25 years now. I've done 11 Himalayan expeditions and spent a fair bit of time in Nepal, Tibet, Bhutan. I've been guiding a blind climber, Eric Weimer, for 23 years now. Eric and I summited Everest in 2001, standing right next to each other. We're on top of the world, apex of the planet. For 16 years now, I've been really focusing and emphasizing altitude and mountaineering medicine.
Yeah.
If I can give somebody the opportunity to go home to their families, that's a win. And I know how important that is to me. And I hugged my wife and my kid goodbye. I want to do good, I want to work hard, and then I want to get home safely to them. What Alpine Rescue Service is doing is the first time it's ever happened, and there is a need. Hello, fellas. There are plenty of documented situations and stories where people have died because they could not be evacuated. They could not be rescued. And what we're doing with Alpine Rescue Services is providing an infrastructure and the opportunity to go in, identify someone in need, and extract them. Let's get everything locked and loaded.
Jeff and the ARS helicopters and pilots are based 38 miles to the south of Mount Everest in the village of Lukla.
being based in Lukla, I'm halfway in between Everest Base Camp and advanced medical facilities in Kathmandu. But we do have a hospital here in Lukla where we can take those sort of in-between patients. Okay, time to hit the road, Jack. And the rest of my team is up at Everest Base Camp.
This is Anthony.
Aussie Anthony Gordon is the Alpine Rescue Service's forward eyes and ears.
My role is to effectively manage a team of the world's most elite climbing Sherpas, but in a different role. So they're no longer having to guide and escort expedition members up to the summit of Mount Everest. For the first time ever, what they're doing is they're coming together to assist people. The puja ceremony is a traditional blessing by the local Lama to all the expeditions. The Lama will actually ask the mountain gods for safe passage of all climbers, Sherpas, porters and support staff up the mountain.
I will never turn down an opportunity to be blessed.
And with that, the Everest climbing season has begun.
Oh, hey, this is Jeff Evans. I'm the medic with Alpine Rescue Services here.
Hi, Jeff. One of our climbers got in here in some very ice and he's in really bad shape.
A climber has fallen on the way to Camp 2 and may have a cracked rib. At sea level, this is a painful, fairly straightforward injury. But at Everest's extreme altitudes, it can be life-threatening.
It sounds like he needs to be evac'd. This is the logistical issue because it's pretty late in the evening. I'd love to go get him right now. We basically have a no-fly after 5:30 or so. We can't do anything tonight. He fell in the ice fall 3 days ago, and he fell about, I don't know, I said like close to 2 meters.
My God.
Gavin injured himself while climbing 3,400 feet up from base camp to Camp 2, part of his acclimatization rotation. Climbers adjust to the extreme altitudes of Everest with a series of smaller climbs, pushing higher each excursion. Once the body is acclimatized, they attempt the summit, which stands at 29,035 feet, the cruising altitude of a jet airliner.
Camp 2 is not a place to be uncomfortable, It's flat and it seems like a nice little glaciated beach up there, but boy, it's rough. You really feel lack of oxygen up there, there's no doubt about it. Gordo, can you copy?
I can hear you.
Who 3 days ago
Took a fall, slammed into an ice wall, didn't think much of it, kept climbing.
Yep, copy.
And then today, his pain has increased significantly. He does have a fractured rib. That displacement can, in some cases, puncture the lung. He's taking really shallow breaths right now, so as a result, he's not getting enough oxygen in his body and not perfusing enough carbon dioxide out. The human body can only go on so long at these extreme altitudes before the wheels just come flying off. This guy's in big trouble. We are going to hopefully mobilize an early evac tomorrow.
Copy that. All right, buddy. There's been excessive amounts of snow in the icefall. For the Sherpas to leave now and head up to Camp 2 would be extremely dangerous. Even if they couldn't get the patient down because of a broken rib. It's an extremely difficult evacuation.
Hopefully, Gavin will make it through the night. So here's our plan, okay? We're gonna land at the base camp. You drop me off. I'm gonna, while you go up to get the patient at Camp 2, I'm gonna talk to their doctor. You're gonna bring the patient down to me at the landing zone, and then I get in with you and we come back here, and then he's gotta go to Kathmandu.
Born in Kathmandu, Captain Kieran has spent his life flying helicopters in the Himalaya. He's logged almost 10,000 flying hours and knows these mountains better than anyone flying for the ARS.
There's nothing easy about flying around in the Himalayas in a helicopter. I mean, you got thin air, you got, extreme altitudes, changing pressure. But I feel completely comfortable riding around with Captain Kieran. I mean, he's the guy to get it done. It's a splitter bluebird day, so we're a go. All right, so I just got a text message saying this guy's in grave condition, that he's going downhill fast, so we need to get there quick, and I'm told I need to bring my full med pack. Now he's got cerebral edema, which is an effect of being up in a hypoxic environment, a lack of oxygen. And what happens is your brain actually swells inside your skull. Now you've got a guy who can't really breathe, whose brain is swelling, so we gotta go get him quick.
Early in the Everest summit season, a call has gone out from 21,000 feet. A climber with broken ribs is in dire need of assistance, and a last-minute report from base camp says his condition has gotten much worse.
Now you've got a guy who can't really breathe, whose brain is swelling. He's quite sick. Now we've had to put him on oxygen and start administering some high-level medications. But really, the only thing that's going to save this guy is to get him to a lower elevation now. And the clock is ticking. We got to go get him quick.
altitude helicopter rescues became possible only a few years ago with the introduction of the A-Star V3. The perfect balance of power and weight, the V3 is the go-to helicopter for handling the extreme altitudes and volatile weather of Mount Everest.
Beautiful day, huh? Yeah. Very windy up high. Yeah.
The wind is nuking.
Dr. Karen, this is Mike up here at Camp 2. Gavin's not well at all. Can you check on the heli, please?
Will do. Stand by.
The injured climber, Gavin Hansen, is stuck at Camp 2, but his expedition doctor is at base camp with the rest of the expedition support team. The perfect scenario for the ARS team to step in and help.
Jeff's got a lot of meds with him. Good.
Tell me what you know. He's done it coming up through the icefall. First day,
Yeah.
Jumaring up over an obstacle about 1.5 meters high.
Mm-hmm.
Twisting fall. Boom.
Yeah.
Wearing a backpack, so he probably had a bit more torque on him. Progressively more sore and tender and moving less. So splinting, decrease air and...
So it's left anterior chest wall, and you're thinking like left lowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing Jeff can do for Gavin's swelling brain or collapsed lung until Captain Kieran brings him down from Camp 2.
Who's picking up? Feeling them now.
Heavy winds prevent Captain Kieran from landing on his first pass over Camp 2.
Kilo Bravo, what's your status?
Them bad now. Making second pass now. Too windy. I tried to time, but it's too windy. Too turbulent.
Too turbulent.
Very difficult.
This is a guy who's got 10,000 hours up there. He says it's turbulent. It is banging.
It's difficult to control the chopper.
Oh boy.
Sketchy, huh?
Yeah, totally sketchy. So, you know, I mean, here's the thing is, any other pilot, I would say, come on, man, put your bootstraps on and go. Not this guy. Not this guy. He's a 10,000 hour guy.
Gavin is sitting with a swelling brain, right below Captain Kieran, but the pilot cannot safely land his helicopter.
We all know that this is pretty much Gavin's last shot. We gotta land this helicopter, or he might not make it off the mountain alive.
The Alpine Rescue Service is attempting to pull an injured climber from Camp 2. Heavy winds are preventing the helicopter from landing, delaying critical medical care for Gavin Hansen, a 52-year-old suffering from a broken rib, collapsed lung, and cerebral edema.
It's difficult to control the chopper.
Oh boy. Do you have a visual?
Delta 1, Kilo Bravo.
Kilo Bravo, Delta 1.
I'm running low on fuel. Only enough for one more try. Copy that, Kilo Bravo. Be careful.
Anthea, we're trying again. Shane's on its way. Over.
I hope he gets in. This fella needs to come out. There's no doubt.
Final approach. Wind steady.
He's been up there a long time, and he's sucking fuel down big time.
Captain Kieran is attempting to position his helicopter against the wind. Using this maneuver to finally land at Camp 2.
Build up patience. We have to go. Just enough now. Hold on. Winds are bad.
Captain Kieran must lift off in the heavy winds loaded with extra weight and get Gavin to base camp immediately.
Kilo Bravo, Delta 1.
Mission completed.
They got him. They got him. All right, so hey, this is gonna happen super hot, right?
This is Kilo Bravo. Everyone stand by.
He's coming in. It's clear Gavin is not in a good way right now, you know. He's absolutely sick. You know, every movement hurts his left anterior chest. Hold your feet right here, okay? We're good. Go!
Okay, you guys go!
Captain Kieran heads directly to Lukla, a 15-minute flight in the best of conditions.
Until we're in Lupa, I just won't know exactly how critical Gavin is. We've got to get him down right now.
The ARS rescue team battled severe winds to pull a critical patient from Camp 2. Gavin Hansen spent the night at 21,000 feet, suffering broken ribs and a collapsed lung, an injury that has led to his brain swelling.
Okay, you guys go! My name's Jeff. I know all about you, my man. I've been waiting to meet you for 24 hours.
Jeff will have to wait a little longer before he can properly assess Gavin's condition. Now down in the Khumbu Valley, Captain Kieran doesn't have to face the turbulent winds, allowing for a quick return to Lukla.
No problem.
All right, and let's walk over here, okay? Grab a hold here. We can really see what true quick descent can do for somebody who's literally on the verge of death, and then 5-10 minutes later is down several thousand feet, and then their body responds to that very, very quickly. So let me listen to your lungs. I just need to get up under your jacket and listen to you. All right, take some big, deep breaths, Gavin. He's obviously in a significant amount of pain, but any neurological changes have all since gone away. Can you hear pops and cracks at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cracking in certain ways that I move. And pops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry your trip's over. He's able to ambulate. He's able to talk very clearly.
Pilot, where's the pilot?
Captain, this guy wants
Come
to say
here.
thank you to you.
You are my God.
We just come to learn that serious sickness. This is what only the medical information I have.
That's it.
That's it.
ARS has learned a young Nepali man is in need of medical attention in the town of Farashe, about 15 miles up the Khumbu Valley from Lukla.
All right, so obviously you see I have to go, but I'm not going to abandon you. I'm going to talk to the receiving physician. So I'll do that, I promise you, okay? All right. Gavin will be okay until he gets down to Kathmandu. There's several hospitals in Kadu that specialize in high altitude injuries and illnesses. Gavin's in good hands now, so we got to turn our attention back up valley and head off on our next mission.
Farashe is a 5-minute flight from Everest Base Camp. Anthony and the rescue Sherpas are meeting Jeff there to assist with the rescue.
The Sherpa is working in the hotel. He base camp and he got sick. So he walked out himself, collapsed in the room. He's done. He's not moving.
Farishay is one of many villages with small hotels for trekkers to sleep in when hiking to Everest Base Camp. Everest-based tourism is the main income for people who live in the valley, and the locals are the backbone of the climbing industry in Nepal.
I feel fortunate to be in a position to be able to help him. He can't speak, so he's not talking at all?
Yeah.
Was he able to go pee at all?
Just
One time pee? Okay. Tell him to take a big deep breath. Yeah, he's not good. He's not good. His pulse ox is very, very low. It's in the 70s. And his heart rate is very, very high. And he's at rest. He hasn't even moved. He's sick. We need to get him out of here.
A pulse ox reading measuring a person's oxygen and pulse rate is the quickest way to see how a patient is doing.
What's his name?
इसको नाम के हो?
Ka naam kya ho?
लाकुबीर
Lakubir. How old is he?
कति वर्ष पुग्यो? 15.
15? Yeah. It's a part of medicine, especially when you're working internationally or even in the emergency department. You get folks who don't speak the language. It's hard to get a proper history from a patient. He's not even talking to the locals here to be able to translate. So without talking to him, I don't know what's going on, you know? I'm going to start an IV on him. The fluids are going to help him fill his body up. His body is so depleted right now. He's so dry. Can you ask him if he hurts if I press on his belly? Huh? His belly is rigid, which is not a good sign. He may be having something else going on inside his abdomen. Yeah, not good. So while I was examining this kid's abdomen and starting a preliminary IV, I noticed that he was really, really burning up hot. I mean, he had a fever. It was no doubt. I didn't need a thermometer. He was on fire. Anytime you've got a rigid abdomen like this, I'm concerned about a bowel obstruction. It needs immediate surgical assessment. Normally when you dump really cold fluids, because these are cold, this is room temperature, and what is it, 40 degrees in here, it should really make him cold. He should be shivering right now. Instead, he's really hot. His vitals are bad. He looks bad. He can't walk. He can't drink. He can't eat. He is in not good shape right now. We need to make it happen. We need to get him out.
पिसाब गर्नुभयो?
Yeah, he's not good. He's not good.
Jeff and the Alpine Rescue Team are tending to a sick boy in the town of Everest.
We're gonna take care of this kid, and I hate to think what would happen if we weren't here.
Initially uncertain about the exact illness, further assessment leads Jeff to believe the boy has an internal obstruction that could cause him to go into septic shock.
He needs immediate evacuation, there's no doubt.
The ARS team quickly huddles up to establish how to safely get the boy down to the helicopter.
Coogan, I want you to take this bottle, and I want you to hold the bottle up high. I'm gonna grab my jump bag, and we'll all go to the helicopter. As we walk to the helicopter, when we're about 10 meters away, you're gonna help him up and put him on your shoulders.
Get out of here, man. Let's go.
The young man needs a hospital. The best one for his condition is over 90 miles and an hour flight away.
It's good we got this kid on the helicopter, but the mission is not over yet. I gotta keep him stable and get him down to the hospital promptly.
What's our ETA, Cap? Very close, very close.
Captain Kieran is able to get the boy to Kathmandu and an awaiting ambulance without incident or delay. But the young man's journey isn't over yet.
It's important for me to go to the hospital and make sure that they understand what we've got here, because we got a kid who's not talking, who's very sick. And so I think the handoff to the next medical facility needs to be solid. Let me tell you about what we got here. His belly is the one thing that stands out. His belly feels somewhat rigid to me. We were received by the medical staff there, an awesome doctor that spoke really good English.
Does it look so? Do you have the same name? Yeah, we'll get a emergency ultrasound of this.
Ultrasound?
First, yeah.
Yeah. After examining him, the doctor pulled the ultrasound in and determined that that young fella had a valve obstruction, which is a critical condition. That's the kind of individual that oftentimes will fall through the cracks. Without medical intervention, he would have died. And all of us here working on this team, we want to be of service to the Nepali and the Sherpa.
Yes. So what we've had this morning, we've got a 35-year-old male climbing Sherpa, very experienced. Appears that he's had a heart attack at Camp 1, so he couldn't progress. It's an urgent evacuation. From what we believe, it's quite life-threatening.
Camp 1 sits at 19,700 feet, almost 14 times higher than the Empire State Building. It is used as a rest stop for climbers after navigating the Khumbu Icefall.
Hey, Gordo, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, man. So this is the situation. Approximately 6:30 this morning, we got a radio call from Camp 1. We have a 35-year-old high-altitude Sherpa exhibited severe chest pain, swelling in the top left breastplate, shortness of breath, can't walk. They put him on oxygen.
So questionable cardiac, and I'm sure the altitude's not helping. He's giving me what he knows, which is not a lot. There's a lot at stake when we answer any call.
I did speak to our crew to see whether they could go up and bring him down through the ice fall, but they said that is a negative.
So stand by. The helicopters are going to be on their way shortly.
I'll talk to you just a little bit, bud.
We get a report that the young man has anterior chest wall pain. You got to take that seriously. Everything's exacerbated up there. Everything.
For this mission, the ARS turns to ace Kiwi pilot Andrew Gutzel.
Once I left school, I did my license straight away and then moved up to the biggest mountains in New Zealand. And that's where I cut my teeth, really, with mountain flying. Mountains are really what I enjoy.
Jeff never takes off without blessing the helicopter.
The llamas and the monks bless this dried rice. Fly well. I don't care what form it has. You know, hey, I'll take all the blessings I can get. So, we're gonna go up with Andrew. At least as high as base camp for me. Yes, sir. Then we'll go scoop this person up, assess, intervene, bring him down.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, Goodo, just wanna update you that you can expect Sherpa Dynasty. Step on board.
ETA from now 20 minutes.
Just left the look lap.
Okay.
Oxygen's coming on.
Andrew straps to an oxygen tank to ensure his brain stays alert at the patient's 19,700 foot elevation.
It's good, that's good.
Base camp, Jeff preps for triage. And Andrew heads to Camp 1. Flying solo, he can amp up speed on his bird.
This is the big question that I have. This wasn't an acute onset and then it went away. This is a constant chest pain, and it radiates down into his shoulder, and there's some sort of swelling in his left chest.
Yeah.
Granite 16,000, Granite 17,000, wind 19.
Now clear of the Khumbu Icefall, Andrew gets ready to land at 19,700 feet.
You've got to have everything dialed before you even approach one of the highest rescue landing sites on the face of the earth. If something goes wrong up there, the helicopter isn't in the condition to take off again, there's really no way back down. If the weather comes in, there's no one's coming to get you.
Coming in, that's good. No conditions look hard and crusty.
They carried him over and they put him in. And when I glanced at him, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if he's alive or not.
Base Camp Lima Alpha, we're departing Camp 1 with the critical patient on board. Stand by, ETA, 5 minutes.
The pressure is now on Andrew to get him down to Jeff as quickly as possible.
I'm going to get in, evaluate the patient. I can't really listen to him, but I'll try and get some vitals on him real fast.
Alright, looks good.
Does he have chest pain right now?
My Sherpa team immediately descends into the helicopter and starts doing exactly what I need them to do. This is very critical. He needs to get down 10,000 feet as fast as possible.
Jeff gets his first look at the patient and begins a cardiac assessment.
He's in and out of consciousness. We got him down to base camp, but he probably felt a little bit better from the drop in altitude. And he just sparked up.
No. Okay.
This guy was having a full-on pain syndrome panic attack. The pain was overwhelming to the point where he was becoming combative and putting us all at risk. There's just too much pressure on his heart. And we got to roll.
The ARS has responded to a plea for help from a Sherpa suffering from a mysterious heart condition in Camp 1 at 19,700 feet.
He's pretty combative.
But the patient's erratic behavior makes it impossible for Jeff to actually figure out what's going on with his heart.
This guy was having a full-on panic attack to the point where he was becoming combative, putting us all at risk, basically. And so Bila and Mingma were almost going automatic right there. Those guys were very intuitively understanding that they needed to calm this guy down.
I need to get his arm. It doesn't matter, shoulder, anything.
The patient needs advanced medical care, but he's a safety risk. If he were to lash out, the Sherpa could cause the helicopter to crash. Jeff has to sedate him before leaving base camp.
Clock me in the head, it wouldn't matter, but you don't want somebody combative in the back of a helicopter.
He'll go to sleep now.
As the sedative begins to do its job, Jeff is now able to do his and get an initial assessment of the patient.
This guy's critical. Things are going south quickly. This is very, very touch and go. Heart rate really high. And as he's failing in and out of consciousness, he's clutching at his chest. Okay.
It's okay, it's all right, man.
The patient is still uncooperative, but Jeff has to get him to a hospital before he gets worse.
You gotta stay with me. Stay with me, buddy.
Okay, you let me know when we've got him. When you're happy with him, then we'll go.
All leaders, good to go. Bring it. Okay. It was kind of getting warm, so a little bit tight off, but then you just flipped it and you're good.
Okay. Okay, it's all right. Well, we gotta get down.
Pretty slippery slope with this guy right now. He's still going in and out of consciousness and really combative. I don't have a defibrillator. I can't shock him.
Talk to me, man.
Any second, he could completely just crash.
When you can, radio in and we're coming in hot. And I think this guy is going into cardiac arrest. Lima Alpha, beam Nam, J12000, inbound nuclear with critical patient.
Andrew, he had that thing nose down. Probably the fastest I've ever been in a helicopter.
Lima Alpha, airspace clear for crossover. You got a helipad here? Yes, sir.
The patient appears to be in cardiac arrest, so Andrew is flying directly to the helipad at the Lukla Hospital.
12000 inbound Lukla. Let's rush the slope in front of us. I'll get out and give you a hand.
You know, you've always got to assume the worst. Turns out this was the worst.
Okay, let's go. Doctor! Up here?
Where? Where is he?
Doctor!
The decision made to come here to this landing zone was really critical. You're currently evaluating him. Negative troponin. His CK was normal limits. Yeah, okay.
Admitted patient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah.
It's better. Maybe Juxa now? That 10,000 foot drop took a lot of pressure off of his cardiovascular system and allowed his heart to quit being in all that stress and strain. Yeah, I was worried about you. You look better. All right, listen, good luck, okay? All right? All right. Amazing. amazing mission in my mind in every sense. It played out in a very powerful, powerful way. And then what's the end result is we saved his life. Hey Gavin, it's Jeff from yesterday with Alpine Rescue Service.
Oh, Jeff, how are you?
Good, buddy. More importantly, how are you?
I'm very, very good.
Give me a quick synopsis, and how are you feeling, and what have you been told?
Collapse of the lower lung.
Oh, so you did have a collapse of the lower lung.
I can't complain one about the attention that I've been receiving. It's been fantastic.
I just wanted to hear your voice and make sure you were good to go, and take care of yourself, my man.
Thanks very much for all your care, eh?
You bet, buddy.
Good to meet you.
Yes, have a great life.
The ARS had a good week, with all 3 rescues ending in success. Laku Bire Sherpa underwent surgery for the bowel obstruction and made a full recovery. Wangchuk Sherpa was cleared by doctors at the Lukla Hospital and returned to his village. Gavin Hansen is planning on tackling Everest again next year and intends on making it past Camp 2.
That's good stuff, Ram. It's like, in my mind, that's putting the bow on it right there, That's it. We just did that, right?
This season on Everest Air.
If you're calling us, you need help.
Here we go.
It's very awkward for a rescue team to receive a call knowing that if you say no, 2 people will die. Saying yes, 6 people could die.
Campo,
Wind is pushing in fast.
weather is very bad.
I've never seen a place so beautiful.
Jesus. So beautiful.
And at the same time, so deadly.
I'm on the summit of Everest.
I know the mountains, right? Superhuman what you just did. It's amazing.
I've got 2 from Crampon Point. I think my wife and husband.
What I see is fear. When I have an unconscious person coming down from 22,000 feet, that's real deal.
I witnessed a lot of extractions in my time. I've never seen anything like that.
Sima, move your feet. I need to get her down to the hospital. Sima. There's already been 1 fatality at base camp. These are big boy mountains, man.
I trust you. Here we go.